we appreciate you taking the time out to do this interview because, we've had the chance to hear perspective from, others you were in the basement with and about being in the basement and also about Static. So, we're looking forward to the opportunity to hear your perspective as well. So thanks a lot for taking the time out. So,
No problem.
First up, just give us some perspective on how you got your start in music and more specifically, getting into the whole Basement clique and all that.
Well, music has been since birth. I grew up in the church, singing in choirs, and I went to a performing arts, Monroe High School of the Arts, and I, was in a group, a gospel group then. So music has always been in my blood first. But in 1994, Jodeci came to Rochester to record the show, the party, the after, whatever. I can't remember the exact. But that album. And DeVante had his Basement artist with him, which consisted of Sisters, which Missy was a part of. He had Players, which Static was a part of, Tim and Magoo, and Boogeyman, and a couple of other people. And then he had a group called Sugar that was looking for another, to replace a member. So I auditioned in 1994 and I got the part. And then that's just how it went from there, I think.
Okay. And what was it like working with so many other talented, artists in that Basement?
It was really, really, really fun. Cause DeVante actually had a studio, which was Bassment Studios in Rochester, New York. And he also had a apartment building. So we all had our own apartment. Thank you. I'm sorry. Keep that. We all had our own apartment. So we all stayed in the same apartment complex. And we all, had the whole studio. So it was always music going on. It was always writing. It was always us collaborating with one another. So it's just like having Motown, but updated, and I think that's the vision that DeVante had. He wanted to recreate the Motown vision. So that's what it was. We did music all day, every day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to do that,
And is there a specific memory you have that maybe stands out to you that you remember from your time there?
I kind of remember most of the days. I mean, the most I remember is just, I remember one time we had an album release party for a young lady, Renee Anderson, she wasn't a part of the Basement, but she was, an artist that DeVante was working with at the time.
Yeah.
So we had a release party for her, and I remember that night was the night that Missy wrote Sugar and Spice, and I recorded that song with her. So I remember that. We had fun. When we recorded the Basement tape, I remember all of that stuff. It was, musical all the time.
Yeah.
We're family. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you actually brought up Sugar and Spice, because, we've had a chance to hear that one, and, what can you tell us about that song? And, overall, what can you tell us about the sound of Sugar?
Sugar was, we always used to say, the female version of Player. So we were old school. We had the old school sound. Maybe the Supremes, we would always look at the Supremes and get ideas and like the old 70s and things like that. So our sound was basically the female Player at the time.
Yeah.
So in Sugar and Spice, it was just the spur of the moment. Everybody was in the studio in the back, like, having fun, enjoying the release party, and Missy was like, come on, let's go do a song. It was just at the spur of the moment, and she wrote it, and we did it right there while the party was still going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
Now, after, leaving the Basement, what was the transition like going from a group to a solo artist?
It wasn't hard because it happened so fast. Everything happened so fast. I was never the one that really wanted to be a solo artist. I was always in group. But because of the opportunity that I got from Missy, with her calling and wanting me to do the backgrounds for her albums and, me just being home after the breakup from the group, I started, writing songs on my guitar. So it just sort of happened. Mm-hmm. And then it just caught on when I played a couple of songs for Missy, and that was that. I never was asked, do I want to be in that?
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about Missy. How did you develop a relationship with her in the Basement that led to you guys having the opportunity to work together, once you guys left?
Well, Missy, as I said before, we all stayed in the apartment complex. We had our own apartment, each group. They And we were always doing music. So Missy was a writer, so she wrote songs for Sugar and, you know, the group that I was in, and she just was writing for the Bassment, period. So I was the lead singer, basically. So that's how we built the relationship. We all were like family. Mm-hmm. So when Missy left to do her solo project, you know, she came back and got me. She was like, you know, I need you on these vocals, you know, for my album. Because I will always do a lot of her, you know, the stuff for my group Sugar. Not all of it, you know. Susan and Rolita's songs, we all did our part. But came back and got me, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, since it took so long for you to release your solo album, after you left the Basement, you know, was it always your intention to do a solo album? And why do you feel it took so long?
No.
Okay.
Actually, it wasn't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It wasn't.
Problem.
Actually, Susan and I, after the group broke up, Susan and I were going to do a duet group. Like, we had started writing songs, and we were going to come out. We actually went in the studio and recorded a couple of records, and that was going to be that. But, you know, there's just so much going on. We both went home, and then Missy called, and then I did the background vocals for her, and then I, you know, played a song for her, and that was that. So it was never my intention to do a solo album, but it just happened, as I said.
Oh, I see. So what do you remember most about recording that Southern Hummingbird album?
It happened, it was just so, how do you say it? It just happened so quickly and just at the right time, you know, with the combination of Nishan and Charlie and Jubu and Craig. It was a match made in heaven, you know. It's like we had known each other, and, you know, that's why I love working with them, like my brothers, because I don't have to tell them what I want. You know, if I play something, they know exactly what's needed and stuff like that. So it was amazing. You know, I think we didn't know at the time that we were making something that everyone, you know, a lot of people still listen to today and affects people still to this day. Yep. But we were just making good music, you know, and it was just amazing. We did it in a one-track room. It was a small room in LA at a studio, and it's just amazing. Yeah. It was amazing.
Cool. And what's your personal favorite song on that album?
Off of Southern Hummingbird? Oh my God, I don't have a favorite. I think they're all, because they're all like special to me. I think Complain is great. The one with Bilal is amazing. Best Friend. Boogie Tonight is, you know, all of them basically.
Okay.
It's like one of my favorites. I can go on and on.
Yeah.
Smoke cigarettes.
Okay. Actually, my favorite song of yours, which actually appeared on your next album, is the song Cab Ride. You know, can you just tell me a little background on that song, if you could?
Well, we were actually on tour or something. We were doing a show, and you know how you do sound check, whatever. And Craig started playing the song, which is the theme to the show Taxi. And I was like, oh, that would be kind of dope if we did a song. And then that was that. Timothy song, this track is sent to me while I was, you know, at home, and I wrote the record, and that's what it is. It was about a cab ride, you know, on, you know, the person that you want to go see. Yeah. So it's simple, nice song.
Very nice song.
Thank you. And I'm the only one. A lot of people wanted to get the right to use the sample, and I'm the only one that they allowed to use that sample.
Oh, wow.
Know? So I feel honored that they allowed me to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. So, you know, a lot of your fans that we reached out to have been asking, you know, they want to know what you've been up to since your last album released.
Well, I have been, you know, after the second album, and things didn't go the way it went, business-wise, I, you know, didn't even want to do music anymore. So I, you know, came home and settled down in that family, you know, and but, you know, mom. I wanted to be in my daughter's life and do, you know, I decided I didn't want to do music no more because I was compromising myself too much. And I wasn't loving what I was doing. And so, but in that time, I got a chance to also get another deal with Gerald Busby, who's no longer with us. And he came to me and gave me the opportunity. That's how I signed the Umbrella 2006 or 2007 or something like that. And did an album with Love Sweet. Love Sweet that will be out this year, whenever it's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I've been doing. I've been still writing, and I did a couple of songs. I did a song with Little Mo while I was waiting, and a song with P.J. Morton, and doing a couple of more things, and preparing right now for the new album. So.
Okay. Is there any chance on this new album you'll be working with Missy and Timbaland again?
Yeah, definitely. Missy and I have been missing each other, but we'll definitely be doing something.
Okay, cool. And, what can we expect to hear on this album?
Well, we decided to go back to the classic Southern Hummingbird, so that's what you're going to get. I'm not compromising. You won't get no hip-hop from me, because I'm not a hip-hop artist. Mm-hmm. I'm going straight back to Southern Hummingbird, the acoustic sounds, music, and the backgrounds, and what everyone fell in love with from the beginning, so that's what you'll get.
Perfect. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Since you've already worked with, artists like Timbaland, DeVante, Static, Missy, is there anyone else in the future you'd like the opportunity to work with?
I've always wanted to work with Andre 3000.
Okay.
D'Angelo, definitely. I think that's top of my top list on number one is D'Angelo. But I also recently, am loving, a guy very talented. His name is Junie, and I really would love to work with him. And maybe do a gospel album or something. That's about it, though.
Okay, cool. Just since you've been in the music industry for so many years, are there any artists in your time in the industry who you would say have influenced you?
Influence-wise would be Marvin Gaye. Quartet music, period. So that's what I grew up on. Mighty Clouds of Joy, Williams Brothers, Gospel Keynotes, and all of those great people. And my mom and dad, Diana Ross, Aretha Franklin, the Clark sisters.
Okay.
To name a few. I kind of like all kinds of music. I go to the 60s music. Things like that. So, I'm well-rounded. So those are, like, the top people that really influence.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Okay, well, Tweet, that's actually all we have prepared. So, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I appreciate even if you wanted to interview and look out for Love Sweet album that's coming out soon. I'm finishing it right now. It's going to be hot.
Do you have any tentative release date on the album, or?
No, I don't. Who knows? Anything can happen.
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll just say that.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely be checking for that. Thanks so much, Tweet.
You're welcome.
All right. Take care, Tweet.
You too.
Bye.